Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Lovely to see you. Lovely to have our new subscribers and lovely to see our long-term subscribers. Welcome everybody. And so today we are going to start a new series for Valentines. I don't think I've ever done a Valentine's series. I think I might have done some odd projects or singular projects, but to my recollection, I've been looking back through the channel and I'm pretty sure I've not done a Valentine series. So that's what we're going to do today. Well, not the whole lot in one day, but I have set myself a bit of a challenge. I'm going to do 10 videos in 10 days. So starting today, which at the time of recording is Friday, we are going to have a video every day for 10 days, and it should finish on about the 9th of February. So it'll give you time to catch up on projects you don't get to do daily. So we're going to fill this hamper. I brought this hamper basket from the works. They have got bigger ones, and when I was looking at my project list, I've got a feeling I might need to buy a bigger hamper basket, but I'll see if I can fit it all in this little one here. And I say little, it's actually, I think it's quite big, but I think they call it a medium size. It's not a small one, it's a medium size. So we'll see what we can do. So what I'll do every day, I will bring this on and show how it's filling up and how I'm going to arrange the bits and pieces. That might change as the projects evolve. So today we're going to do something fairly quick and easy. Well, very, very easy and quite quick. We are, actually, do you know what? I'm going to show you what we're going to make. We're going to make a rose, but it's not just a rose. If you pull back the petals, there's a sweetie inside. So that's what we're going to do today for our first project, and I'm going to show you exactly how we make it. It's ever so easy. So first of all, you need a stick with a point. I'm using a barbecue stick because they're easy to get hold of and they're easy to use. And all we do, I've used a circular sweet. This is a lint sweet, but you can use a Ferrero Rocher. You can use anything you've got or anything you can find. And what you do, you take the point, leave the wrapper on, don't take the wrapper off, and just push. I would suggest not pushing it through the open end because it will make it easier. So just push it through like that. Oh good, I'm glad it didn't snap. And then you've got the bowl of your rose straight away, but don't bother trying to trim these off because it doesn't make any difference to the shape. And the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to do it a different way around to what I did when I did my sample one. I'm going to use, you don't have to, if you want to keep this green or if you want to paint it green with your alcohol pens or whatever you've got, you can, or you can just leave it the colour that it comes. But I'm going to use some flower tape. Now if you've got flower tape, by all means use it. If you haven't, you could use tissue paper, green tissue paper, and cut it into small strips about, I'd say, 1/2 inch wide. But what you'd need to do is paste some PVA style glue onto your stick and wind it round. But as I've got flower tape, I'm going to just break off a length. And the good thing about flower tape, if you have got it or you can get it where you are, is it's sticky both sides, so you don't need any adhesive. So we're going to start right at the top. Just take it round 2 or 3 times just to anchor it. And then the way I do it is hold your tape at an angle and just twist like that. So as you twist, if you hold it at an angle coming towards you, as you twist it, it will cover, as if by magic, it will cover your stick. Now if you've done what I've done and you've made your tape too long, you can do one of 2 things. You can either go all the way back up again, or part of it, or you can just break or cut it off. I'm just going to break mine off. And then because it's double-sided, just wrap it round and seal it. So that's that bit done. So that's the first bit, job done. So you've now got a green stem if that's what you want, and we've got our sweet. Now obviously you need your petals. Now I would suggest using tissue paper for this. Now it doesn't matter, well the precise size isn't important as long as it's big enough to cover your sweet. Now if you're using a Lindt sweet or a Lindor sweet or a Ferrero Rocher, I would say between 4 and 5 inches square will be fine. And as you can see, this is not a perfect square. It doesn't have to be perfect. So flowers are really a perfect shape, but they still look beautiful. And you will need 3 squares of tissue paper. And because we're using tissue paper, where's my glue? Oh, there it is. Because we're using tissue paper, I put it on a different side of what I normally do. That's why I couldn't find it. You'll only need something like, I know I need to wrap this with my brand colour, but you'll need a glue stick. It doesn't have to be a particularly strong glue stick, but we do need to glue these together. And I'll show you the positions we need, the sequence we need. So I'm running out of space. It doesn't matter how big my table is, I always run out of space. So take your glue, put it in the middle. You don't do it all over, just put it in the middle. And then take your second piece and lay it. So if you've got one that's a square, as you look at it, take the next one and lay it down as if it was a diamond shape. So you've got the points facing you. And then just, with your finger, just push it down like that. You don't need to do anything more complicated than that. And for the next, oh, there you go, excuse me. It's all right, I'm coming back. That's the problem with the table. I just knocked it off, I tell you what. I'll put it on the trolley and bring the trolley a bit closer to me. That'll give me a bit more space. Hadn't thought of that. Sorry about that. So, that was the basket falling on the floor. I nudged it with my elbow and it fell on the floor. But it's all right. We're doing all right. We're going to carry on anyway. So you do exactly the same thing again. Put your glue on, but don't put it at the edge. And this time you return the orientation to a square. Like that. And just use your fingers and glue it down. If you don't glue your pieces together, when you slide it onto your stick, they'll just fall apart because they need to be attached. And you need to find yourself a small pair of scissors, and we're just going to pierce a hole through the middle. Now, unless you do it with the point of your stick beforehand, I wouldn't suggest using that end because you're going to get a hole that's too big and it won't sit. So just take your scissors like that and push. It doesn't have to be very big. Give it a little twist and keep your scissors to one side because you might need them. And then all we do is we push our stick through that hole like that. Bring it up like that. And then what you do is you bring your petals around your sweet, and that will actually make the bowl, as it's called, the bowl of your rose. Now, hold the bowl, hold the sweet, and give it a little twist. You don't need to do any more glue, but just give it a little twist. Hold it for a few seconds, that's all you need, and then let go. And then what we're going to do, this is actually a little bit big. So what we're going to do, if you do it, it's better to do it too big than not big enough, because if you do it too small, you'll have to start again. Or you'll have to cut some new petals. So if you find that it's too big, hold it above the bowl so your thumb is above the sweet. But do be careful, guys, that you don't cut your thumb or your fingers. So hold it like that, about a quarter of an inch from your thumb, making sure you don't cut your fingers, and just cut off the excess. If you've got a little bit there, just cut it off, and we'll sweep the excess to one side. Actually, my bin, for once, is where I want it, right next to me. So I'm just going to put my scissors back in my caddy so I don't knock them over. And then, there's a little bit there that needs to come off. That's okay. Any odd little bits you can either pull or cut off, and you can adjust it. You can adjust the shape as you go. And while the glue is still wet, you can adjust the shape. And what I would suggest you do is, this is what I did. Hold it with, it doesn't matter which hand you hold it, hold the bowl or hold the sweet with one hand, just to give it a bit of a shape. And just fan out the petals with your fingers. So just hold it like that and fan it out. and then let go, and you've got a beautiful rose. If you don't want it quite that fluted, you can always use your hands and shape it as you want it. So you can really shape your sweets and your, well, not so much the sweets. You can shape your petals however you want them. Now what I'm going to do with mine is I'll bring back the other one that I made to show you in the first place. And I've actually made 3. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 2 together and 1 on top, and we're going to make a little mini bouquet. And I've got a ribbon. I haven't got a ribbon that's totally red. This is an old Christmas ribbon. It's a tartan ribbon or a plaid ribbon. But it'll have to do because it's the only thing that I've got that's the right colour. And when I went to town earlier this morning, I couldn't find any other suitable ribbon. They're all, although they've got Valentine's things out, they've got a sort of combination between, they're still selling off their old Christmas stuff, and they've got lots and lots of Easter stuff out. But Valentine comes before Easter, so they should have, I think they should have more Valentine stuff, but there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrange my little mini bouquet like that. And I'm going to tie a bow. And if I need to cut off the excess, which I probably will. So we're going to tie a little bow like that. Well, actually that one's already got it's got a tail in it. That's all right, that's handy. So what I'm going to do, that one is a bit too long. So always cut your ribbon either in a fishtail or at an angle. That way it won't fray. Unless you're going to use some heat to seal it. But I wouldn't suggest you do that unless you're confident. So there we go, guys. There is our first Valentine's project. And I'm going to bring my hamper back. And I'm going to lay that in there like that. I might have to just trim. I might have to trim that down a bit. In fact, I think I will. This one here, I might have to trim it down a bit, which I'll do later on. But that will lay either slightly over the edge. It'll probably lay like that. But if I can, I will get a larger basket. So there we go, guys. There is our first project for our Valentine hamper. So I hope you can join me with this course, or it's not really a course, this series, and make the projects and make your own Valentine's hampers, even if it's for someone like a parent. If you're like me and don't have anyone to give it to anymore, or a partner, if you don't have a partner, that's fine. You can still make Valentine's hampers. You could make them for grandparents. You could make them for parents, anyone who perhaps lives on their own, who could do with a bit of cheering up. So make this for anyone that you think would appreciate it. I'm going to make mine, when I finish mine, I'm going to give it to a very sweet couple who live in our community. And they do an awful lot for this community and for our church. So this is going to them. And I can't say who it is because we have a mutual friend who watches this channel. And I know they wouldn't give the game away, but if they're anything like me, they get so excited that they tell them by accident. So this is for a mutual friend and for someone in our community who works very hard to keep us all connected and together. So when you come back tomorrow, we will be doing another Valentine project for our Valentine's hamper. I've got a list of 10. I haven't decided what order they're going to go in yet. I've got an idea what I'm going to do next, but I won't say in case I change my mind between now and recording the next video. So tomorrow, pop back and you'll see what we do next, what we make next to add to our Valentine's hamper. So if you're not a subscriber but you've enjoyed this project and you'd like to follow us, please do hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell and then click the all button, and then you'll be notified every time a video comes up on this channel. And I will see you tomorrow with project number 2. So until then, take care everybody, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.